and today we're going to be talking about transfers. But first I wanted to thank you for all those thumbs up and for subscribing to our channel, and all you new subbies, we welcome you. And here's what you can expect from our channel. You can expect techniques and art journaling, bookmaking, a whole manner of mixed media related topics, plus some travel logs, because we're going to be going to Europe this fall, and we're going to be taking you with us to some of the most wonderful galleries in Europe. So up next, transfers. So today I thought I was going to give you 3 new products, but 2 of them have been discontinued. And one of them was a solvent, and I could not stand the fumes, and it didn't make a good transfer. So we're not using that. And I'm not even going to talk about those guys. I used to love working with Elmer's caulk, and it made a fabulous transfer. Wasn't exactly acid-free, but it was really good. But we're going to talk about Elmer's glue today because it makes a fabulous transfer, and it's really great in a pinch. You can use it for your art journaling. You can use it for making a card for someone, making a transfer for a card. You can also use it for working with kids and making transfers with kids, because it's really inexpensive and it's really easy to use. So we're going to talk about that today. We're going to work with that first. And then the other product is called Omni Gel Medium Transfer, and I absolutely love this, and I'm going to talk to you about why it's a really versatile product. And if you want to click the link below, I get a very small little percentage of that sale if you purchase it from Amazon. And as far as I know, Amazon's probably the only place you can get it. So just a little tip there. So all right, we're going to get started with this. And the first thing I'm going to do is get my gloves on, because you know I don't want to have glue or anything on my hands. And so Elmer's glue, it's not acid-free. So that means it's not archival, so it will eventually just kind of eat itself, sort of. And I've worked up, so this was the very first one I made, which I grant you isn't a very good transfer, but it does make a much better transfer, and I'm going to show you that right away. And so we're going to, I've got one that's all ready for us to peel back, but first I'm going to show you how to do it. So working with the dry brush, and I just put it down on my little palette, which is just a little plastic Ziploc top, and I'm going to cover the image with it, just like this. Doesn't matter which way you go, and that's actually a really good question, because for some things it does matter. Oop, and I just glued it to my substrate, which I don't want to do. And I'm going to need a little bit more to put on the substrate. And you want it to be about the same size as your image. And if you overshoot it, that's not a problem. I'm just going to poke that in water. Then we're going to take the image and we're going to lay it face down and smooth it out. Now, this is when you take your bone folder or your brayer, and what I found with Elmer's glue is that the brayer seems to work better than the bone folder for some reason. I don't know why, but anyway, you could use either one, just as long as you are getting a good connection between the substrate and the original image. Okay. We're going to set that one aside, and I'm going to show you what the other one looks like. So I made this one yesterday, and we're going to now moisten the original image, the back of the original image. I'm just going to use a brush, a clean brush, to put water on it, and you should be able to see the image coming through now. This is when you find out where you got a good connection and where you didn't. And I wasn't trying to get the frame in there, I just wanted the couple. And then take a white cloth, which you can use your hands. I've said this in other transfer videos. You can use your hands, but your fingers get a little tired, and it's much easier to use the cloth, and because the cloth is nubby, it's going to rub off more of the cellulose, which is what you're doing. So get a good contact and then just go for it, and you can see it coming through here. Now when you finish getting all of the cellulose off, then I would go back and give it a little coat with a gel matte medium to keep it looking crisp. But you can see how it comes through. And the whole point in doing a transfer isn't to get an absolutely perfect look, because you're going to want to do other artistic things to it. You might want to color in the background. You might want to put a pattern in the background and collage some paper with it. You might want to put moon and stars back there for the sky. There are a lot of different things that you can do with it once you get it going. But to have absolute perfection, then you just might as well keep the print, right? And that's not the point. The point is to make another generation and to use that in your artwork and to really have fun with it. Do something completely different. Take it beyond where it was. Okay, so I think you get a good idea, and that's Elmer's glue. Pretty good, huh? Came out great. All right, now we're on to the next project, Omni Gel Medium. Omni Gel Medium, I-L-O-V-E, love this product, and I've had it in my studio for years. I was sad to see that Amazon's probably the only place you can get it now. I tried both Michaels and Hobby Lobby here in the States, and I couldn't find it there. It's about, for a 4-ounce bottle, it's about $20 USD, and so, but it's so worth it, and I'll tell you why. First of all, it's a fantastic glue. You can use it for all of your projects. You can even use it as like a kind of resin. I've used it on jewelry projects, and I've used it on assemblage projects. But it makes a great transfer, and the first transfer that we're going to make is identical to the last one. We're going to sandwich the picture, and this is the first one I made so that you can see, and of course we can make it a little clearer. I just left it kind of open so you could see, and then of course I would rub all the rest of that paper back. But I'm going to go ahead and make one. I have one already made so that I can rub it back for you, and but then it makes another transfer, and it is really cool. So I'm going to show you how that works right now. Okay, you're going to use a generous amount, and if you pour too much, just scrape it back in and put it back in the bottle, because it's a little pricey, and you can do that. You can just put it right back in there. So we're going to coat the image, and then we're going to coat the substrate. So we've got a double coat going on, and then we're going to do the exact same thing. Just set it down and get a good connection. This time we're going to use the bone folder. And I used an image that had a lot of detail in it, because Omni Gel makes such a great transfer that you can do that. Okay, and we're going to set it aside and let it dry. And I have one right here that we can moisten it and pull it up. I made this yesterday. And the paper is already coming off, which is great. I chose this image especially to do this because the next transfer I'm going to show you, this image could be cut out and used in your journal work or in some other kind of work. It could be put on a canvas or a board and just cut right out of there. Okay, so you can see it came out quite well, I think. Okay, so the next one is a really interesting transfer, and it is very similar to a packing tape transfer. If you've done a packing tape transfer, I'm not going to show you how to do that because it's pretty simple. You simply take the packing tape, put it over the image, and cut it to size, and then soak the cellulose off the back with water. Just leave it in there. So this is similar to that. The cool thing about doing this technique rather than the packing tape transfer is you're not stuck with the size of the packing tape. Okay, you can make any kind of transfer out of any kind of image that you want, which is absolutely so cool. So what you do is to actually just paint with the Omni gel medium vertically, then you come back horizontally, and then you come back diagonally after you've let each one dry. So I have one that we did, and then we're going to soak this in water. Just soak it in the water, and if it's printer paper, which is what I'm using, then it should come off really easily, so we're not going to leave it in there too long. The directions say 20 minutes, but I'm thinking that's probably more for us, you know, a thicker kind of paper. So we're just going to turn it over and lightly, and I do mean lightly, peel this off, and if you'd prefer to use your finger to do that, then go ahead and do that. Now, here's the thing with this. You can do whole sheets of paper. You can do huge maps. I mean, you could do all kinds of things with this. I mean, my mind just gets boggled when I think about this idea, and I haven't even explored this idea as far as what I would like to. But what you're going to get is a very thin transfer that you can cut out and use into your work, and it's going to be almost like a skin. That's how thin it's going to be. So when you do this transfer, you want to go past the image, obviously, because otherwise the paper is just going to soak off and fall away. So you have to have something else on there. Okay, but can you see my hands through there? The blue of the, you can see how thin it is. It isn't even paper thin, it's almost tissue thin. And that is so cool. And then we're just gonna cut it out. Oh, the air conditioner just came back on, so you know we live in Florida, so if you can hear that, oh well. Okay, so I'm hoping you can see my hands through here, and you can see how thin it is. And so what I would simply do is go ahead and cut it out. And it has a shiny quality, which you can, if you don't like shiny, and I am not a shiny girl, then you can always use just a gel matte medium to tone it down a little bit. And you could take an X-Acto knife and cut this out if you want it to be really detailed, and put it in the work so that your work would show up through the window of the car, which would be so cool. And I'm not going to cut the whole thing out, but you can get the idea how thin. So this makes a fabulous skin, and it glues down really easily. And I love the way it comes out. It's just so fabulous. This is a great product. So, well, we're at ciao for now. And if you can believe it, I always have so much fun with you guys. And next time I'm going to be paging through this journal. We're going to be talking about using transfers in your work. and using images in different ways in your art journaling process. And you can also use those ways in any flat work that you do, any mixed media. So until then.